Hey guys, welcome to the Tuesday Night Music Show. I don't know how many of you guys saw this, but apparently last week, for the first time in 35 years, there were no rap songs in the top 40 of Billboard's top 100. Did you guys see that?
Did see that.
Yes,
Yes.
I saw it, but I didn't read it.
Well, it's gobbledygook to me. I mean, and apparently that's not the case right now because Megan Thee Stallion has a song called Lover Girl that's debuting at like 38 or something like that, which breaks the no rap in the top 40 of the top 100. But this is what got me thinking about something I thought we as DJs who have seen a lot of things come and go could talk about a little bit. And that's the shelf life of genres and how incredibly unusual I think it is that raps has stuck around as such a dominant force for so long when we've seen so many other things come and go. If that makes sense to you at all. And the first one I was thinking about was disco. And there were plenty of other ones, but disco kind of went away. After Celebration, it was kind of over and it went underground. And then it poked its head back out as electro and freestyle and R&B and other things a few years later. But there's been other things like that too, right?
Like, just don't call it disco because,
Just don't call it disco.
but it's
Right.
same syncopation. It's just same animal, different cage. It's
Yeah. But I mean, what happens is it goes into like a subgenre, kind of like rock, right? I mean, you're a rock guy. Rock has done this a lot. Like there was what the hairband thing happened.
yeah. Well, rock continued to reinvent itself. If you want to put the stamp and say from where Chuck Berry started it, and where hard rock bands today have taken it, that's
Uh-huh.
it's a long journey, and it's probably evolved 10 times over, and there's 50 different subgenres of it's
Right.
it's guitar driven, it's psych rock, it's classic rock, it's grandpa rock, it's hair band.
Now,
Now, but I think rap kind of did the same thing. I think rap really had like three or four evolutions. There was, if I'll just give you this, if you guys don't mind, I'll just say something. Like
sure.
when the first rap records started coming out, when you had like Curtis Blow and Run DMC in the early 80s, it was stemmed off of disco, became its own thing. And it wasn't very advanced. They were rhyming, cat and hat and, wish with this. And it was just very, very simple. It wasn't, it was Dr. Seuss poetry for the most part. Then we went through the period with the angry stuff that came in, tail into the 80s, early 90s, and it changed. And then groups like Tribe took it and put like a jazz element into it. And, the backing beats got more interesting with, Dre's production and got kind of another life. And then that led to that stuff kind of went away. Those songs had stories and there was at least something to listen to. But I mean, the stuff that's now, it's kind of fallen so far away from the root of it. It's different, and it's not danceable. It's generally not happy stories, and it's got back to being more simplistic like it started. But I don't think the quality is there like it was when we first heard it. It was new. It was something different. It gave us different beats, and it appealed to an urban generation that was tired of watching MTV and seeing Madonna and U2 all the time.
Yeah.
But I
It's
mean,
an
that's
interesting fan base too, because I feel like with most other genres, the general population just consumes it until they overconsume it and they're sick of it and they don't want it anymore and they move on to something else. Rap didn't seem to do that. Like I thought it was going to. Watching it in real time, I'm thinking about hearing. I remember I heard Rapper's Delight when I lived in LA still. I mean, I was a little kid. I was like, well, this is interesting. And then I didn't hear anything until I heard Blondie's Rapture. And then I thought, okay, well, she's doing kind of what they did. And then when I moved to Wisconsin, it was Grandmaster Flash. That was the thing, Melly Mel. That was the thing that you heard. And, some others. And then it didn't really break top 40 for a while, but then it came back in weird ways. And it was almost like, okay, it's jumping the sharp because now these white guys are doing it and they're blending rock with it. And this isn't very good because I don't like the song Fight for Your Right to Party. It's silly. And then I heard the rest of the album, like, oh no, this is really good. And then you had raw bass and that kind of stuff that was fun. So there was like almost a resurgence of it, and Run DMC with the Aerosmith thing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a real good stride. And then of course you get Two Live Crew. It's comedy to me, you
Yeah.
know.
You get the Mix-a-Lots and the MC Hammers pop up, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. It's here. It's here.
it's danceable. It's back again. Yeah.
It was dance music though. It wasn't street music. It was dance music. It was being blended in with Italo disco stuff like Black Box and Snap and those kind of things that you don't really consider rap, but there's rap in it, you know. I don't know. What genres can you guys think of that have kind of come and gone and maybe came back as something different? No one?
Oh, not really.
I don't want to keep talking though. Country. Eric said it, so I didn't have to.
Yeah.
What grandma's country used to be versus what we get now is very different.
Oh yeah. Very.
The Patsy Clines and the Roy Acuffs and Eddie Arnold's is not the Luke Bryan, and it's
Yeah.
it's a long walk to connect the dots on those.
Right.
As a favorite, or when Shania gave it a kick in the rear, late '90s, all of a sudden, country was acceptable and fun again. It wasn't about dying in a coal mine or
Yeah.
know.
I'm thinking about the 90s country thing really came in strong, but if I really think about it, around the time I was born, country rock was a thing. And you had bands like Eagles who were doing it. And those are country songs. They're really good, so you don't think of them as country songs, but they're country songs.
Sure. Skinner, 38 Special. Those
the Southern rock stuff's very,
the country people accepted them, but it's rock based, but it could go either way.
Speaking of disco, when that crashed, what took its place? The urban cowboy thing. I mean, that became a thing.
Mm-hmm.
John Travolta's in Saturday Night Fever in the 70s. He's an urban cowboy in the 80s. And it's huge. And Kenny Rogers is on the charts. And Dolly Parton is on the pop charts. And Don Williams is on the pop charts. And Eddie Rabbitt's on the pop charts. It's like, whoa, okay, country's mainstream now. It's all over the place. Then it goes away, and we have this cool British invasion that came in and knocked most of that out by 83, I would say. But yeah, New Wave was another one that kind of...
The New Wave kind of came off punk. Punk's kind of went rock, but the punk attitude kind of became quirky synthesizers and abstract lyrics and strange outfits. And
what's the first New Wave song you heard?
Pop music.
What about you, Brian?
Like Tainted Love type of stuff. Is that New Wave?
Soft Cell. Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Damon?
First New Wave song?
Yeah, the song that you identified as New Wave was the first song you heard that you identified as New Wave. Like, this is different. This is rock, but it's different. This is New Wave.
Shit, 78. I mean, I gotta go with the B-52s. That was different.
Yeah. It was definitely different. What about you, Jay? What do you think is the first New Wave song you could think of hearing?
I think Cars, Gary Newman. That I consciously remember thinking, this is weird.
Yeah. First time I heard something that I was like, wow, this is totally different, and it really is New Wave, would be the Cars' first album.
What year was that?
78, right?
Yep.
78, 79, yeah.
Everything like Best Friend's Girlfriend. Their 50s. The song structure was 1950s.
Very, very doo-woppy on a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember looking at the album and it's like, okay, Good Times roll. And I'm thinking of the Chuck Berry song.
Yeah.
And
Well,
whoa,
let
that's
the
a
good
very
times.
different spin. This is a very different Good Times role.
Yeah.
This is different. I've never heard anything like this before with the synths in it. The cadence was very 1950s, but the sounds were futuristic and strange and like almost Theron sounds in there.
Yeah.
But I think that's the show your influence,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, I've seen Elliot Easton interviewed about tracks, and he's like, well, I was really into this, and I was really happy with this, and I was influenced by that. And I think that's always been a consistency with music is, oh, this reminds me of.
Mhm.
That's why Chuck Berry gets so much, respect along with Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis, because nobody said, this reminds me of Rosemary Clooney. This
Mhm.
reminds me of the
Yeah.
big band swing scene. Like, if you're a groundbreaking artist, someone said the Ramones,
Yeah.
Sex Pistols. It's the second you're different, it becomes new. So it just keeps reinventing itself,
Yeah.
and someone else will come along and be like, here's this sound. It's just difficult now because there's, 8 notes and just so many melodies. And to be totally different today, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be a rap artist, how are you different today?
And
Do
I
you do
think
a
that's
certain
really
cadence?
lies
Do you
the
do it with
problem.
a certain instrumentation? Skrillex was different. It was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, what's this? Dubstep. Oh, it's
Right.
different."
Yeah.
Then it became mainstream. And it's like this whole topic, it makes me just wonder. I think music qualifies itself when it falls away.
Yeah.
George Strait hasn't had a hit. Like, in this room of DJs, Cross My Heart is probably the biggest George Strait
Right.
would say, and that's
Yeah.
30 some odd years old.
Yeah. What year did Pure Country come out? That was like,
Right.
Yeah.
But yet George Strait sells out stadiums.
yeah.
Metallica hasn't had a song on the radio as a new piece in 30 plus years.
Yeah.
But they're honest. Like, so I
Legacy
don't know
artists, if
that
you will. Yeah.
I don't know that popularity and charts always run concurrent.
Well,
I think sometimes you've
No.
made it when you're no longer on the charts, like
Well,
jazz.
yeah.
We all know jazz exists. We all know jazz is still prevalent. We all know jazz is a genre. But what's the last great jazz song?
Well, it changed.
I don't know.
It changed a lot. It
Mhm.
was probably something Quincy Jones or
But
Herbie.
yet jazz as a genre, we all admit exists. And jazz,
Yeah.
the Newport Jazz Festival happens every year, but I couldn't tell you a jazz song of modern day
Yeah.
if I had to.
There's Charlie Brown jazz, is what I call it. Everything that sounds like it's from Charlie Brown Christmas, which is totally not a genre, but that's what I call it because I'm a layman. It's like wine. I don't understand it. I don't know when to clap. I don't know when to.
Right,
I
but,
don't-
well,
but
you
you,
can't
but
clap
you
on
see
13
it.
number
That's
six.
my
Of course.
point.
But I know
I think
that Paul Hardcastle's very different, but he's still jazz.
Right, but I think music reaches its peak when it no longer needs to be qualified as look at the chart placement.
No,
Like, nobody's
I
going
agree
up
with
to
you.
Wynton Marsalis going, "Hey, dude, you haven't had a hit in a long time. I'm never going to have one."
No, I understand that good music is good music. It doesn't matter if it's charting or not. That
Right.
I agree with that. And having the older siblings like I had, I think I maybe sing this a little different because I remember my brother had music. It was his music. It was Nazareth. It was Ted Nugent. It was that stuff. And then when I got older, I had my music. It was a different rock than his rock was. It was other things too, but rap is odd in that respect because it seems like the fan base has been pretty loyal all the way through. Like they like the throwback stuff.
Right.
The young rap audience is totally cool with hearing some DMX or some 50 Cent or some old Usher or whatever. They're cool with that. Or they say, or
Right.
Tupac. They got Tupac posters on their walls. The guy's been dead for how many years? Long time.
Longer than he's been
Biggie.
alive. Yeah.
Yeah. So they seem pretty
96,
loyal
I
to,
think.
to the art of rap. Pardon?
I think he died in 96.
Yeah, it's going on almost 30 years.
It was in 96 or 97, so it's been almost 30 years, and he's still relevant to teenagers today. Like the movie Scarface. He's
If
still
you
like
look
that
at
movie,
why
too.
rap's not on the charts, you have to look at what left it. So if you want to point a finger, and this will shock many of you maybe, but I would have to say, therefore, that Kendrick Lamar, Drake, those artists are what killed it, because they're the last ones I can look at and say, there's the chart.
Mhm.
This is the biggest rap thing in the last 3 or 4 years was Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
So if it's no longer relevant, I have to say, what was the last thing that was, and did it kill itself?
Well, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion seem to be doing pretty good when they drop everything, anything. But they're.
But I mean, if you're a rap purist, is that rap,
I don't know.
or is that?
I have no idea. Does anybody?
I don't either.
If speaking for the people,
If you want to flip the burgers and jump in here,
Step up
David,
to the
by all,
pulpit.
yeah, I'm gonna flip the burger on this one.
feel like replacing me on the pulpit.
No, it's still considered rap, but it's not lyrically.
It's hip hop. It's
It's rap, but it's not the lyrical aspect is not there with Cardi B and a lot of the newer artists. So, with that being said, yeah, Kendrick Lamar was very lyrical. J. Cole was very lyrical, but it all went back underground again right now. So you got to search for the really good stuff again.
Mhm.
Not right now. It's just how many girls can we get shaking their butts in a music video or and stuff like that.
I enjoy music when it goes underground though, because it gets to take chances and do new things. It's not necessarily giving lip service to popularity top 40 charts.
Well, it's just like De La Soul just came out with a new album a couple months ago.
And
it's actually really good, but will it see the charts? No, because
that's not always a bad thing.
Oh.
I think I saw Egyptian Lover came out with a new record.
Yeah, he does. Egyptian Lover's still making records.
Yeah.
And he's still selling. He's still.
It's all 808. It sounds like Egypt. It still does. Yeah. It's good. But
I think because the delivery of music is so different today.
Yes.
That's why I've finally just thrown my hands up in the air and said, you know what? The top 100 means nothing anymore. To me, personally, I used to use it as a guideline or as a litmus or as a line in the sand of where I need to be musically and what I need to be involved in or listening to. I no longer think that's the case.
No,
it's sort of, we joke every once in a while, we do a Rolling Stone top 50, top 100. They've proven themselves to be completely and utterly irrelevant other than getting other people to talk about them.
Well,
and the only way to do that is to give names and numbers of placement that really are not accurate.
Well,
so therefore, when rap lost its placement on the charts, I felt it was a statement of we're comfortable enough with rap that people will now go find the artists they like and no longer view the charts as, oh, introduce me to new things.
Don't you feel like a lot of that has to do with the lack of communal experience with music?
Where I think it 100%. My son at 20 uses SoundCloud to find underground rap artists that he likes, artists that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And I'm a full-time DJ, and it shocks the hell out of me to go, who, what? And I listen to him, and some of them are good. And he goes to club events. Granted, these artists are selling, they've got 100,000 followers on Instagram, and they're moving 300 people into a club on a Wednesday in San Diego. But it's his music. And I look back on it and I go, wow, that's crazy. Until I realized at his age, I was going to Narcissus in Kenmore Square on a Wednesday, seeing Anvil and seeing Iron Fist and seeing, Tank.
Right.
So it hasn't changed as much as we might think it has, because what I went after when I was his age was music that wasn't on the charts. Iron Maiden wasn't on the charts.
Okay.
We're talking about
neither was Judas Priest.
Well, Jay, with that being said, it was I did a high school event a while ago, and I was like, I'm gonna listen to the radio. Listen to the hip hop radio station. Majority of the stuff those kids asked for wasn't getting played on that radio station.
No.
And I'm like, okay, but they're
Right.
all listening to Spotify, SoundCloud,
Yep.
every other
100%.
source that you could possibly think of to get their music. So
Yeah, they don't follow the trend or the norm
nope.
that we think they should because it's what we did. And
It's just the delivery
again,
system much different. That's all.
Yeah.
but Brian, even with that being said, like I said, I thought it was so bizarre until I stopped to realize at 20 years old, when drinking age was 20, when I went to clubs, and much different than you and other people that went for dance music, I went for the hard rock metal side. My music wasn't represented on any charts. I
Oh,
just
dude.
followed it.
It's the same thing. I mean,
And I found it in Kerrang and Circus Magazine and Rip and Thrasher. And you where you find it is where you find it.
yeah.
Hence, the charts at the time only told me the trends, like who's this Nirvana? Who is Soundgarden? I got to check out Pearl. Like they gave me new groups that ultimately went on to have good careers, but they weren't on a weekly basis. Like, oh, damn, I got to go check out fill in the blank band name.
We talk about how I talked about how disco kind of went away and it was can't call disco anymore, Stansville, whatever. I was discovering stuff of all places on the USA Network show Night Flight. I was hearing
Yeah.
all these really bizarre underground stuff, and B-52s was there, and Dead or Alive was there, and Divine was there, and weird Bowie stuff that the radio was not playing was there, but it was new and it was cool. And Art of Noise, that's where I first heard Art of Noise, was on Night Flight. I mean, that was a place of discovery for things that weren't in the mainstream because I was interested, just like you, Jay, in something else. I wanted something else. I didn't want to just get whatever was being spoon-fed to me by the radio. And you know what? Some of these kids are doing the same thing. They're just doing it in a different way.
The question for me becomes, and I don't know this without researching it, so I'm making a statement I can't qualify. Is college radio still a thing?
I just saw something
Yeah.
today about a local college radio station and how it just had pop crossed out on it. It just said the
Yeah.
station name and pop was crossed out, which is kind of what it's always been. So it does
Right.
exist. We do have it here.
And I'm sure we have it in most big cities, but think about the fact that let's go back for me 40 years when college radio was giving me everything that popular radio wasn't.
Mm.
Now let's go to 40 years forward. Is there college radio? And if so, is it giving people what they can't get on the mainstream? And if so, who are these geniuses that curate college radio? Like, do they literally go through, here's 10 albums, we've heard of 8 of these, let's only play the other 2?
Sometimes they
It's
check out
pretty
band.
ingenious that they are
Yeah.
able to give us such great music.
That's what a DJ is, man.
But that's it.
it's-
Like,
it's
where's
different.
that thing that they're hearing that we're assimilating to and saying, I'm on board. I like this B-52s thing that, Private Idaho is not getting played on the radio in Boston, but Emerson College in Boston is playing it.
Well, the reps used to come out too. Like there'd be someone from Atlantic Records that would come in, like to Curry College Radio, and sit with the music director of the station. And they'd come in, sometimes a couple of times a week with the brown cardboard boxes full of records. Here's this artist. And they'd put a sticker on the front, and they'd want some feedback. Which ones are you playing? Are people calling and asking for them? And a little scoop
Don't even
powder helps.
I'm
them
selling
out.
college radio. Here you go,
That's
radio
how
station
you-
DJ.
Yeah, that's how you go.
Play
They don't-
my
they both don't
music,
like you. Yeah.
please.
They can go all the way to 6 a.m. with a spoonful of protein. So they
It's creatine,
and they bring
everybody.
and it was different labels too. Arista would come in. I remember Atlantic would come through because that's how we got ACDC records at the station. But they'd come through and the shifts were broken up. Well, there's a reggae show that runs 4 to 5, and there's an alternative show that runs 7 to 8. And so they'd pick the records that got there. But there was distribution, and that's not what you get today because these artists are making their songs in their bedroom and releasing them on
Yeah.
platforms, and there's no physical copy that you can take to the radio station unless you're that artist and here's a flash drive, please play my song.
Well, just like when we get our promo stuff from Promo Only or Top It USA or whoever your service is, it's not like you're getting the 10 best tracks. You're getting a couple hundred tracks and you got to weed through this crap.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why
You're
college
getting
radio,
what they want to give you.
A lot of filler.
that's why college radio was so much fun. I remember hearing Jay's favorite song for the first time on college radio, Pumped Up Kicks. I heard it there first. I heard Kanye for the first time on
If you
college
hate
radio.
children, amazing track.
Kanye with the style American Boy, I thought that was a wonderful track. That's the first time I'd ever heard Kanye. Was on
Yeah, I heard
college
him on
radio.
Through the Wire.
Really? Wow.
Through the Wire was my first Kanye, and I just thought this is Shaka Khan, but sped up. I love this, but it was different enough to jump out on the radio to somebody that's not typically a Kanye fan and go, "Ooh,
Right.
what's he doing here? This is great," because it was that sample.
Because it had the callback to, you know,
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I think that just helps make it recognizable, and what was originally a pop song or really like an R&B ballad turns into a hip hop song, and that's how it got new life. And
So I got to
Well,
start
it's a-
somewhere.
yeah.
It's a smart play, and I don't know that rap has gone away. I just think that rap has transformed itself. And it was rather eloquent of you, Brian, mentioning the whole like, who are these white guys with Beastie Boys? And it's true. I remember when that was the topic on Rolling Stone at the time was something to the effect of like, we're not supposed to like this. This isn't their music.
I thought the song was terrible, but the neighbor.
I
bought
loved
the
it. I
CD.
loved Fight
I
for the
didn't
Right.
like it. I thought it was ugly and stupid.
I think that's
And
what
No,
they
I
had
was
to do.
making
I
fun of
liked
what
it.
I felt was a cool art form.
To get on the radio, they had to do that type of song because they
Yeah.
couldn't punch through otherwise.
Then I borrowed the
here's-
neighbor's CD, who he bought it because he liked it, and I'm
Right.
like, all right, I'm gonna burn it onto a 90-minute cassette so I have it to play, just to have it because I'm collecting everything. And oh my god, I think Ryman and Stealing was the first track on that album, and it blew my mind. And then the
Right, but
new
it
style
becomes
was
the delivery
incredible, and
system.
Hold It Now, Hit It, and but it just goes on and on and on. It's like, this is the best thing ever. I love this.
Like a frat
But it was
party.
impactful enough.
Suitcase
I mean,
of beer.
we did it like this, we did it like this, we
Uh,
did it like that, we did it with a
did it with a wiffle ball
baseball
bat,
bat because
Yeah.
I mean, you got into it, but you needed that delivery system of here's Fight for Your Right, because that's the single, and all of a sudden you got No Sleep Till Brooklyn and Paul
Like
Revere
they're
and Ryman.
looping Black
It just
Sabbath.
became-
Yeah, ends up.
What is this?
That's Rick Rubin. That's
Okay,
keep
this
rock
is
at.
when the levee
Well,
breaks.
I heard
What is this? Yeah, it's crazy. No,
I heard
great.
someone argue, and they made a hell of an argument. They said the fact that Black Sabbath is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame without Ronnie James Dio is a sin. Hence, when Ozzy got fired in '79, Sabbath was as dead as Ozzy's career. Ozzy resurrected quickly, but so did Sabbath with one of the greatest albums of all time, Heaven and Hell, with Ronnie James Dio, who then put us out 3 more albums that were all prolific and great, but he didn't get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Granted, probably Sharon, but still, you had multiple careers going on with different artists driven by talent. Because I had to buy the album, put it on, and listen to it. Now music comes so quickly. Like Monday, there's a hit that's gone by Tuesday. We were talking a couple weeks ago about Ghost and Sleep Token pre-selling 250,000 copies of their album. The day it's released, they're #1 on the Billboard chart, Hot 100. By week 2, they're 50. By week 3, they're 190. But that's not what the game is anymore. Remember how albums used to slowly creep up? And then
Most of the
suddenly one
time,
day we
yeah.
all went, wait, Metallica's got a #1 album on Billboard, and then Skid Row had it with Slave to the Grind.
It's a very
It's
different
not
delivery
relevant.
system, no.
And the people
It's
saying
not,
rap
right.
is dead are using the same qualifiers to say this is or isn't. Ice Cube is still selling out arenas. Did anyone tell him that rap is dead yet? Because he sold out an arena the other night.
Well,
I
I would never suggest it was dead. I just thought it was interesting that it wasn't necessarily, in whatever indicators are using, the top thing in the country, the top influencer for music in the country for the first time in a long time. Because it's kind of.
I'm not saying it's dead, but I'm saying
not either.
when I got to my room tonight, there was a piece of paper that said
That is
rap,
dominant.
and this was sitting on it, Brian, an Andres Mint. That's not a good sign.
I love those. Those are my favorite.
I do too. I got this on my
Love 'em.
bill tonight.
I love those.
Nice.
Save that for later.
Awesome.
Well, I think the algorithms of the modern technology are bringing back some of the artists, and that could be a reason why they never go away. If you listen to Dear Mama from Tupac and you're on a service and it's like, well, if you like that, you might like to listen to Notorious B.I.G. Let's throw a song at you. It's from the same time. Let's get the same kind of thing, East Coast, West Coast, and maybe that's how these young kids are finding these legacy acts, like you call them.
Yeah.
And they're getting stuck in the car with their parents.
Yeah. Or their older siblings.
Yeah.
We're
or
going to play
whatever.
Life After Death for the whole trip, and you're going to
But
listen to
then
this whole
the
damn
problem,
public
John,
stuff.
becomes how do you explain the whole SoundCloud thing? Because there's nowhere that's being heard. Like I've literally demanded my kid to give me like 10 artists he listens to. I made it through 3 and I'm like, okay, this is just such crap. And I'm trying to be the open and I'm looking at him going, do you like City Morgue? He's like, no, they're terrible. I'm like, I like them. I mean, it's like Insane Clown Posse on 50 with some Tupac. It's like, this is just not working for me. But I think sometimes the music you're into is defiantly against what everyone else is. That's what rock and roll is at the heart of it. What's rock and roll? Music that upsets your parents.
Yeah.
Rebellion. And then you don't have to
Yeah.
like it all. You like certain stuff, you don't like other stuff. I don't.
But maybe that's what hip hop is
I don't
becoming.
understand
Rap
snake
is
joking.
becoming.
I was kind
I
of
don't get it.
wondering the same thing, Jay. I saw something today on social media where somebody was talking about, hey, we're doing a 6-7 theme for trick or treat at our house for the kids. And I'm thinking to myself, hey, you want to watch a kid trend die really fast? Let the parents embrace it. It'll go away. And this is the reason that something that hasn't gone away in 35 years will never go away. And that's saggy jeans. Because parents will never embrace saggy jeans. So it'll never go away. It'll always piss off somebody. So it's going to be there forever.
You know what? It's one of
I
those.
said it.
I'm doing the mannequin challenge. So anyway, yeah, the baggy jeans thing. No,
It's never going to go away.
it's just it's
It's
popular
always going to
because
piss off parents.
no. I don't think it's that. I think these kids have researched the meaning of it with prisoners who wear it loose and all that, trying to date, and they're making a defiant statement about this is who I am.
Could very well be. I had something else I wanted to
Get a
kind of-
belt, you little yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
just for fun, and I bet we'll do real well with this in the room if we think about it.
The way you're rubbing your temple, I'm sure you do.
No, I do. I really
Like
do.
this is gonna go good.
No, I think it'll go well because I think you'll all have some really good examples of this stuff I hadn't even thought of.
There you go.
We're talking about how, pardon, John?
I said, will it into existence.
I'm willing it into existence. We're talking about genres that come and go. As we were talking about this, I was thinking about artists that have made a comeback. They were gone for a while, considerable amount of time, and they came back. I thought that might be an interesting round the room kind of thing. We could try to figure out who we can think of who went away for a considerable amount of time or period of time and then had a comeback.
Okay. I'll go. Fuck it.
Do it.
Charlie Wilson.
Yeah.
If you know who Charlie Wilson is, that was the lead singer for the Gap Band.
Mm-hmm.
Gap Band had the hits. They went away. He came back as a solo artist.
Yeah.
and doing very good.
I was thinking, and I'm gonna try to leave the low hanging fruit for Jay because this is like stuff he really enjoys. Who they kind of went away and then they came back. Dionne Warwick. She went away for about 10 years, and then she came back. No, Clive Davis said, well, let's bring her back. So he did.
Yeah,
With Deja Vu and all that
he
stuff.
has that power.
Yeah.
And she was also on the Psychic Network, so she saw it coming.
That was later.
Yeah, she got crap with them big time.
And she had a niece that had considerable success later on.
Wait, artists that went away and came back.
They
they're
kind of
still
they
back.
had a career,
Mm.
then they kind of had a lull, but then they had a resurgence. Like maybe a band you like a lot was like that.
They've never gone away in my eyes, Brian, if you're talking about the boys from Boston. Just saying.
Just might
Always
come
been
around for
number
one
one
more
on the
tour.
list.
One more tour.
No, because
One
when
more.
you said that, when you first asked the question, I'm thinking like, does he mean like Kate Bush? Does he mean like Tracy Chapman, where like they were
those
out
are
of the
songs that
scene
came
and then
back. I'm
We'll get
talking
a new
about they
life.
come back with
it's the
relevant
comeback and
material.
stay part.
They come back with material that's like, oh wow, this is cool. Like they went away and then they came back. They had
Right.
yeah. I'm thinking
I got to think about this.
I'm thinking Neil
I got to think
Sedaka.
about this.
Neil Sedaka went away for most of the 60s. It didn't come back until 73, 74 with Sedaka's back.
Oh, so we're not talking today.
Anytime.
Okay.
Anytime.
Literally, I'm in today's time going.
Yeah, I'm doing
No,
today's time in my
anytime.
head.
Okay, Neil Sedaka.
Well, he did. He was doing the Calendar Girl thing and all that. Then he was doing
Yeah,
such a musician stuff because he had nothing. And then he
breaking
came
up in
back
the
with
rain
those-
or something.
Laughter in the Rain was his comeback stuff. Was Sedaka's back.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
did
yeah.
that. He did that at the studio with what became the band 10cc. They were his band for all that stuff. He
Right,
recorded there. Yeah. And he's like, well, now that we're done here, you guys can do your own stuff. I said, well, we don't do our own stuff. It's like, well, you should. You're awful good. You guys should form a band. So they did.
It's an interesting question. They're not, I don't want to go for the low hanging fruit. I don't want to say like,
No, do.
Aerosmith did this, but I'm genuinely trying to think of like artists and bands that kind of disappeared.
I can help a little.
Eric put up Cher in the comment.
Yeah. Cher's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. She's done it multiple times.
Right. She's had a lot of like comeback. Madonna's done that too, to a certain extent.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she kind of, she went away and then she came back bloated, different thing. Oh, I'm not wrong.
How about Meatloaf?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
big album
Meatloaf
in
definitely did
77
that.
and then 677 and then I'd Do Anything for Love.
Yeah.
Put him back on the charts. He took like 30 years off touring one record.
Yeah.
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 Well,
No,
he
that's a
tried a
true
lot
one.
of things. In fact, he did a track with Cher called
Yeah.
Dead Ringer. I remember
Yep.
hearing that in like 80 or 81. It didn't do anything. So he tried, but
Yeah, it was to like 91 or whatever.
I'll
Then
Do Anything
big
for
hit.
Love was the one that really stuck.
93, I think, was that one, or
somewhere around
92?
there, right around there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big comeback.
Well, artists as a whole, like who's been at the Sphere since U2? Well, U2 would be an example too, because they were a hot
Eagles,
80s.
Grateful Dead, or Dead Company.
Because they have that kind of staying power. It's like, okay, that's a band that's worthy to go into this brand new.
Well,
then
I mean, Eagles, they did the Till Hell Freezes Over in the late
Oh,
90s.
Hell
where
Froze
they came
Over,
back with
yeah.
the acoustic.
right. I think the joke with them is just like, oh, we're never ever getting back together. And
When you
it's
get
like,
back together,
how-
when Hell Freezes over,
How much is that check for? Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
guess we can tough it out
Oh,
one more time.
they
nobody's
were done
done.
after the long run. And then they
Okay.
came
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
And then they came back. Yeah.
The
Would you
days
say-
of I'm done, this is my retirement. The Who announced their final tour in 1982. No,
I just saw him
Elton
last
John,
summer.
I don't care who you are. There's always a cash pot at the end of the rainbow that says, yeah, I'll come back and do a couple shows.
You were saying, Damon?
No, I was gonna say, speaking of going and came back, would you say Kiss did it? Because they went away, and then they were gone. They weren't around relevant for a while, and then
They
remember
came
they
and
did
look
the-
it up, I guess. Yeah.
They did the no makeup tour. I mean, the no makeup unplugged,
Right.
Sure.
and everybody was like, "What the hell?" is
Unmasked.
this?"
Yeah.
Right.
Well, but
And
they
then
had
they finally
albums
put 'em
every
back.
like 2 years consistently.
They
They
didn't
went
have
through
big
that
hits,
weird
though.
80s period of Unmasked
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Creatures and Animalize. And they
Well,
had the-
Animalize did well, and Look It Up did well.
Yeah. Heavens on
Yeah, but
Fire.
not,
And
not initially. It was that
Sure,
initial
Look It
like,
Up was Look It Up. I
Was
think
that-
was
that was on
that
MTV
track
every
was,
half
but
hour.
I don't think their rep was.
maybe not.
Like after that, they got Bruce Kulick on guitar when they did like that whole Animalize period. And initially it was not responded to. And then it picked up.
They came back with some new material.
Like
after-
Creatures is
probably
really
like
where
a
they kind of
4
bounced
or
up.
5 year hiatus. You know,
But they
came
were
back
still
with
around.
stuff.
If you look at the time period,
Yeah.
albums were still coming out.
Okay. See,
They screwed it on Dynasty and The Elder.
You don't mess with Jay when the Rock. He'll just keep going.
okay. I'm just saying, I missed that time period. I just remember they weren't relevant for a while. In
Right.
my eyes.
No, he's right. I mean, you look at the
Oh.
late 70s with the makeup and the huge stage persona, and then they
Right.
went into
They
this
had
like
action toys for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comic books
Action
with their own
figures.
blood.
They had a movie.
Right. Had a ballad.
Yeah.
Had the
Yeah.
Faces albums.
Mhm.
Meets the Phantom.
Exactly. So
They don't talk about that.
so once you go from that, then all of a sudden you just like
Hack.
nowhere. And then
The
all of a
hell
sudden
else
MTV
went
said,
away and
"Hey, we're
came
gonna
back
do."
with?
Well, I mean,
this or
I
that.
brought up Sabbath earlier. Sabbath, technically, after Never Say Die with Ozzy, and Ozzy got fired on that album, kind of, plummeted along with Ozzy. And then all of a sudden, boom, within
Right.
5 years, they both were back to playing big arenas.
Yeah.
I mean, Ozzy had no career and came out with Blizzard and Diary, and kind of the rest is history.
Okay, I'm thinking of somebody right now who was huge in the 70s, went away for a very long time, and came back in the mid 20 teens in kind of a big way.
The mid-teens,
The 20 teens,
20 teens.
the mid 20 teens in kind of a big
Yep.
way.
It can only be one of two people. John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band or Joe Bonamassa. Yes, everybody, there you go. I've answered the question.
I'm thinking about writer producer Mr. Paul Williams. That guy
Watch
was
as the crickets come into the room.
We know who he is.
Jay. Come on.
I know Paul Williams. I just don't know anything past Smokey and the Bandit or the Carpenters.
He wrote a lot of stuff for.
Oh, he did, but I can't name one thing he did in the teens.
Daft Punk's Random Access Memories. That was him.
Paul Williams wrote that?
Paul Williams produced that album.
Jeez. Wow. Okay. Did not know that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know that either.
Have
So
you
he
seen
was
the
doing
interview
like
with Billy
lounge acts
Corgan with
in
him?
like Taiwan, and he had a little documentary that came out that said, "I'm not dead yet," or "I'm still alive," or something like that. And then all of a sudden,
Right.
Daft Punk's like, "We want to, bring our heroes in and work with our heroes." They brought in Giorgio Moroder, they brought in Nile Rodgers, and they brought in Paul Williams to produce the whole album. So, and now he's in Hollywood again, and he's doing things, and with music, he's
Yeah.
relevant again at his
Have
age.
you seen the interview with Billy Corgan?
Yeah.
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 I didn't watch the whole thing. If I had, I probably would have known about the Daft Punk thing.
Yeah, that was kind of his big comeback.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty major,
Oh, 100%. But I also think there's artists that had fame, go away and come back as writers
Yeah,
and behind the scene. I mean, I think of Nile Rodgers somewhat in that respect, where, after the
did
Bowie,
Nile Rodgers really ever go away?
yeah, but
because
that's
he
the
was-
thing. After, what did he do after Bowie? That was
Well,
like
he did
in the main.
Madonna, he did Duran Duran. He did tons of stuff in the 80s.
I know, but he was very quiet about that, it seems. Like he
No,
was very big on the Daft Punk stuff. Like, look, everyone, it's me, Nile Rodgers.
well, for a long time
versus-
it was produced. Sometimes it was Nile Rodgers or Bernard Edwards, and then it was just Nile Rodgers because they had a falling out. Nile was kind of a problem person, and
Probably.
Bernard was a straight shooter, but Bernard died. And then it was just Nile. But yeah, he did kind of go in and kind of come back. But that was later than you probably think when he went away, because he was pretty much relevant
Yeah, probably.
through the 80s at least. But no, I just thought it was interesting to see who we could come up with, and I'm sure we're missing a lot of people.
Well, I got one more then.
Who you
We're gonna
got?
go to one of the greatest balladeers of all time. Okay. Mr. Barry
Mhm.
White. I mean, my man had a big career in
Yeah.
the 70s. Faded away, when disco died, blah blah blah.
So at least the
And-
Sansfield he came back with.
No, he came back with Quincy Jones brought him back for the Secret Garden album he did, Back on the Block. He had
Sure.
the song Secret Garden with Al B. Sure and a bunch of other artists, and that was just like boom.
Yeah,
Like Barry's
Yeah.
back.
yeah. R&B. Yeah, he came back on the R&B charts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of artists that did that. I think I'm just had one off the tip of my tongue. Somebody who went away and came back, who was R&B.
I'm
'cause there have
I'm
been
going and on for that.
Yeah,
Well, you want a weird one? Darius Rucker went away with
Yes.
Hootie and the
yeah.
Blowfish
Putting the
Pop,
Wolf
came
Thing comes back with
country.
Wagon Wheel.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great example.
He just played in town. He just selling out arenas. Flipped the country, changed up the
I mean,
script.
he's got
and-
an entire career now as a country artist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very, very much relevant with that.
I think it's, and I had this talk with John or somebody in the room, and it still kind of blows my mind. And I know I had this with Damon. You know, when me as a DJ or a person thinks of Chris Brown, if you said write down some sentences about Chris Brown, they'd be like, oh, I know he's got a bunch of Lamborghinis he's painted, and he had a cool house in Hollywood, but he got busted by the police for partying too hard, and the whole Rihanna thing, and this and that. And side note, I had this discussion in front of someone that you guys don't know, who immediately who knows him and said that wasn't his fault. It was all her. I'm like, yeah, she looked kind of beat up though. He's like, and this is the comment. Yeah, but she started it. I'm like, oh, okay, we're on two different pages here. But because we were talking about Chris Brown selling out 2 nights at SoFi. So 2 nights at SoFi is about 170,000 tickets. And I was like, how? Well, look at his catalog. I go, okay, I love the track, fine. And of course he had Forever. And like, I'm running out of songs. And they're like, oh my God, dude, there's like 95 songs he's had. And I'm like, but stadium? Now, outside, if John doesn't open his mouth, who here wants to tell me their favorite My Chemical Romance track? They just came off a sold out stadium tour. They're not relevant. They're not in the media. They're not on the charts. But there's this new thing that I call go away, come back and get paid, which is you take your small popularity, you disappear for 10 years, and you make it into this huge thing.
Yeah. We missed them.
Who does Chop Suey? Who does Chop Suey? System of a Down. Just played 10 shows, 10 sold out stadiums. They haven't toured in 7 years. They haven't put out an album in 20. But their fan base got older. They have a little more money maybe, and they'll pay $200 to go see them at MetLife in New Jersey.
At a festival or something, yeah.
So I think that's also something that we have to touch on a little, that a big enough band can disappear. Like Metallica won't stop touring stadiums, but yet other bands can come back and say, hey, everybody, we're back from a 5 or 6 year takeoff. Now we're going to play much bigger venues because we've been away. And the fan base goes, uh-oh, I better buy a ticket to see them.
Yeah.
So I think that's another avenue of music and its delivery system.
Yeah. I just thought of another one.
Oasis, gone for 15 years.
Yeah, they're
just
coming.
Sold out everything in the world.
O2 Stadium in Wembley and all those two sold out.
Wembley 9 nights.
Yeah. I thought of somebody who was like a mainstream top 40 artist, kind of went away, poked his head back up, went away, poked his head back up again. And that was Marvin Gaye. So you got Let's Get It On. You've got What's Going On. And then you all of a sudden got to Give It Up, ducked his head back in, pops back up with Sexual Healing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is somebody who just, when he decided to pop his head back up, it was good.
Well, he should have maybe moved his head to the left at the end there.
Oh, I just thought of another one.
Too soon?
Somebody who went away for quite a while.
A little bit different joke, Jay, but yeah.
You still working the night shift? Yeah.
Somebody who went away for quite a while, and then I feel like came back in a pretty nice way with a good album. Smokey Robinson.
Again, the Room Crickets.
Well, he's doing the Smokey Robinson.
What album?
Well, he was doing all the stuff in this, he did 60s stuff, of course, a little bit of stuff in the 70s, goes away, then pops up with that Just to See Her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That came, I don't know what album that was. It was like, what, 87?
Yeah, smooth R&B of the 80s.
Yeah.
Late 80s.
Yeah, it was top 40 stuff.
Was that the facelift period?
Probably.
He's still in a facelift period. Shit.
Is that a Phil Collins reference? Because he's another one that ducked away and came back. And
he's 105 years old. And he looks like Lionel Richie, who also
I know.
is 105 years old.
Seriously.
Looks like he's...
Well, Lionel, he, had that break from his like super career in the 80s and then kind of disappeared and Actually, he can't sing anymore. Don't count Lionel.
Yeah, that does
But-
no.
I
I think Stevie Wonder
Lionel
or
went off
Lionel
I've
into-
seen the
Richie.
video.
American Idol host.
Lionel went off into so much other stuff though. His real estate adventures is crazy, and his
Yeah.
writing adventures. So
You know who I thought was going to do this? Adam Ant. When he came back with Beautiful,
Yeah,
he had a track in the 90s called Beautiful
yeah. I
as
remember
solo. And I'm just like, oh, this is like going to be his new thing. And it just, that was it.
Fell flat.
It didn't go anywhere else.
that. Yeah. Well, Bowie did it quite often as far as a mainstream artist. He was always doing things. He was always kind of
Bowie
doing
chameleon's better than anybody else, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bowie was like,
Till the
hey,
day he
everyone,
died.
you need a
He
new
was
style
doing
of
it.
music. And look, here I come.
2 years early with it, and then
2
everybody
to
Oh,
10 years
stop.
early.
Then we catch up.
Easily. What are you guys wearing these days? Oh, we're wearing like ripped t-shirts and jeans. Nope, you're wearing tuxedos now because I'm back.
Yeah, right. Because I said so. Yeah,
Yeah,
That's Mr.
seriously.
Bowie.
Every time I saw him, I'm like, that's a cool look. Yeah, that's from 6 years ago. Oh shit, how is it like now it's just
Yeah.
hitting?
Well, I like that hairstyle. Yeah, he was doing that 10 years ago.
He was doing that 10 years. Yeah, 100%. No, I think it's tough sometimes. And again, it speaks to the comment I made the other night after having a big discussion with a bunch of DJs that there's a certain age where you stop looking for new music.
Yeah.
yes,
30,
You're
32,
comfortable.
35. You start to go backwards and you live in your, man, I got to listen to that Frampton Comes Alive tonight,
Huh.
the new Chemical Romance thing. And I think because of that, the people coming up are getting the new stuff, but the delivery system is so different now with the internet and streaming that it's really just a wild west now. Like the music
is.
business is nothing like it used to be, and you can't
No.
afford to tour. You really can't afford to put out product.
Yeah.
So you give away your music on YouTube or Spotify and you kind of hope for the best. So I don't know that we're going to get a lot of longevity from artists. I mean, the writing was on the wall when 9 Inch Nails 5 years ago said, hey, got a new album, it's free. With the only hopes that Trent Reznor had, which was that you would go on tour and pay to see them. Because he realized then, I'm not going to make any money off an album.
No.
And because of that, it changes the dynamics. Plus the
Yeah.
cost.
No, it's the business is different. The delivery system is completely different too. I still get excited
The
when I hear a
cost
track I like
factor.
though. Oh my god.
Brian, what did it cost you for you to go to like, First Street or First Ave to go see a show back in the day? $10, $8, $12, 15
Negligible,
bucks.
whatever. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Now it's like a cheap show is $100 anywhere.
yeah, it might have been $20 to go see Alexander O'Neill. It might have been a Glam Slam. I don't remember.
Right. But you had $20. Not
Yeah.
everyone has $100 plus drink money, plus Uber, plus.
Oh,
plus,
of course.
plus.
Yeah. It's different now.
You're not making it easy for people to go enjoy art.
No. Well, let's talk about our sponsors since we got a second here. DJ Van Planner is foolish enough to sponsor the show, and we're glad that they are because it keeps us on the air, right? So thank you, DJ Van Planner, for being one of our channel sponsors. Learn more about them in the description of this video on YouTube. The links will be there for you to have a look at. Didn't want to forget. Like, get that in there.
Get it in there. There you go.
That's right. So, any final thoughts before we wrap this sucker up and stick a fork in it?
No, I think we did pretty well.
Nobody has any. Brian's got a fork.
Whatever you're into, go find it.
exactly.
listen to the music you enjoy. Don't let anyone tell you what to listen to, and listen to new
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Go
I like
seek
it.
out what you enjoy and support it. That's all.
I like good music. I don't care if it's new or it's old, and I get very excited when I hear a new track that I like because that means when I'm working, I can play it to younger audiences and they'll enjoy it.
Detroit
So-
techno forever. Woohoo! All right.
Heck yeah! All right, kids. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Good night. There's my cursor.